Okay, I wanted to do an update on the changes that have happened to the CarWars um, car design program. This particular one that we're looking at right here is for the car called the Fandango. And I have no idea why it's called that. I don't know if the car actually exists. It's an interesting car. I've picked it because it has certain characteristics that I find interesting. However, I have noticed that the front of this car is extremely huge, and I want to know why that is. It may be visually deceptive. Maybe it's not as big as it appears to be, but it does in fact look to be very, very huge front. Is that because that's where the engine is? Well, no, because if these are electric power plant cars, there is no engine. It's just a power plant. It's a box generating electricity that is being used by the motors that are on each tire. Remember, that's the way this era vehicle design has happened, which we only now today in 2019 are seeing actual evidence for. Motors being applied to the axles, say, for each wheel to have its own electric motor. And those motors are deriving power from the power plant in the vehicle. Now, if that's in the front of the vehicle or the back of the vehicle, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, this car has got a huge front bunch of stuff, space there. I don't know what the details are for the engineering of it, but that's what it looks like. Anyway, I'm saying that in this design, this vehicle has got concealed weapons for this era, because that's the idea here. That's the whole idea. So this guy is defending himself, or he is ready to assault, whatever. But at any rate, weapons are concealed in that space. So it does have a blow-through concealment, which is coming up right here. So let's begin. Let's begin with describing the card. First of all, when you select and print this card, I'll show you how to do that. When you select and print this area, you're going to print selection only, and it will come up printed, I believe, at 82%. I will check that, but I think it's printing at 82% of normal size will fit on a is it a 5x7 index card, or at least a 5, something like that. The point is, it's got to be a manageable size, and visually the lettering has to be big enough as a roster card for people to use. So as we said before, we have the name of the vehicle, the player's name, or the design or whatever, the maximum weight, the weight remaining, and the body type is compact. Now this was an issue. I'm not sure that is a compact, but I'm going to leave it there. So it's a compact car. The chassis suspension is standard improved. The speed is 7 spaces per turn. Or in Pulse Universe, you're pulsing 7 times. A total of 7 times. You're going at 197 miles per hour, so this guy is fast. Your acceleration and handling is 2 and 2. Your space remaining is 2, but the cargo space is 0. Your cost is $44,000. The armor is derived to say medium. The average facing of the armor is 5. Remember, we've tweaked the rules a little bit, well, a lot, for our game called Time Driver, and that's what we are looking at here. So the average facing per armor, armor per facing, top, bottom, side, left, whatever, is 5. The total number of armor points is 27. It has puncture-resistant steel-belted radial tires, and they're fireproof. So it's a handling class of +1, and they won't burn that easy. They are flame proof, well, fire retardant is what they really are. It doesn't have any guards, it has hubs, and unfortunately I haven't yet figured out how to differentiate if this should say through the formula, if it's this, then say guards. If it's this, then say hubs. Because why? Because it could be both. You could have hubs and guards, I believe. I'm not entirely sure if that's true. Anyway, here you see that the total value is 5 points of total armor for each hub. And there's front left, front right, back left, back right. And this is where you're going to record those hits. This is your weapons summary right here. I know it seems like there's a lot of weapons, but basically that can be filled up pretty quick. This guy just doesn't seem to have any. He's just got the 2 concealed incendiary ammo machine guns with a drop spike plate is all this guy has. He has space remaining, as we can see here, and he's got 446 pounds remaining. This is assuming driver and co-pilot. Okay. Now over here we have our effects of the accessories and the accessory name. The reason it had to be arranged like this was because of the way the card was originally designed. So I've had to put the accessory name here, and then the effect over here. You'll also notice this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 accessories, which should be more than enough. But for now, 10 is the most I can fit on here. And then the miscellaneous section, I have to leave at least the 3 that are in the design of the Excel spreadsheet, because you may need this. Now this is an item, and this and this, so it just says because there's nothing, no miscellaneous entries. But when there is one miscellaneous entry, it'll take up right here. This is the armor track, front, back, right, left, top, under. This is a bunch of other things from the P1 car tab worksheet. So the pods and the pod armor is going to be a little wonky, because that's hard to determine where the pods are and what the armor is. So we'll have to leave it the way it is for now. Here's a note, I should say. This is an item that calls out specifically that there is a blow-through concealment. I wanted to do this because this is an important note, and I didn't want to bury it like this. No air dam, no bumper trigger, no spoiler. Oh, this is a repeat. I have to fix that. So no bumper spikes. Slope streamlined. Note, it is sloped and streamlined. There's no roll cage, there's no ram plate, and there's no laser links, but if there were, they would be here, and the details would be like it's spelled out there. Okay, so here's your speed track right here. So that's it. And over here we have all these cells are merged into one, so you can type in here, and the idea is you can make a little description of your vehicle right here, and then use this if you want to, either for cutting and pasting, just selecting it all and cutting and pasting somewhere else, or to just remind yourself what the card, what this vehicle's description is. There's no place for it to be printed as well as the rest, but I mean, at least it gives you some place to put your thoughts. So that's essentially what we have for this card. I don't think there's going to be too much more changes, although you do see there's a black area here of no code, and there's a black area of these 3 cells, and there's no code in it, so there's a possibility of putting stuff there. So there we are. That's the latest update, and probably that'll be very close to being final. Let's hope.